quite matched the colour of the carpet either, have they?
Oh, that's the new stuff.
Yeah, but it's still not quite different rolls. That's the old stuff. Look at that now.
It's not a huge surprise to me, I'd have to say. By the time they get it down, they'll have to move this court, which is moving in front of us again. So we'll shift, presumably. I don't see how they can move it though with the lights.
I guess they must be changing all of the lights.
Because they definitely said they were moving it, didn't they?
They did tell us that.
But it doesn't look as though they are, because that's going to be a huge job to change the lighting rig.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if you look at that branding there.
Yeah, maybe. Got a bit of work to do then.
Yeah, I certainly have.
Not sure they'll get that done on time.
No. Hello and welcome to Liuzhou for the second session on day 2 of competition at the Li-Ning BWF World Superseries Finals. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Order of play: mixed doubles, women's singles, and men's singles, women's doubles, and men's doubles. We've had that order each session, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Order.
The order.
The order.
As decreed by
D. Parks.
D. Parks.
Must have one of each.
No, but not just one of each. It is the order.
That is correct. It's the correct order of play, as per British standard.
As by GMT standard.
Have you seen icy, snowy, hurricane conditions for the UK over the weekend?
Oh my God, I haven't left my heating on.
We're going to be, the UK is going to be blitzed over the weekend.
Oh no, don't tell me that, I won't get home.
Afraid so. Afraid so. Same for me. It's a Christmas tradition now for me, I think.
Where are you going to get stuck though? Guangzhou.
Hey, it's no worse than Shanghai where you'll be stuck.
No, I won't be stuck there. I'll get to Dubai, all right.
True. Yeah, but there'll be 250,000 people in there. Like, there'll be a queue of
My sister's only 2 hours drive away, for God's sake.
There'll be a queue of 2.5 hours for the toilet as there was last year for Dubai.
No, alhamdulillah. Inshallah, I will be back. Yeah, a couple of days.
It's a Christmas tradition. I'll have at least one night in a, rather than in a manger, I have it in an airport.
Because there was no room at the inn. Right, we better focus. What's going on? Who have we got tonight?
Well, they haven't shouted 3 minutes yet, have they?
No. So, our lineup for this evening: Zhuchen and Margin, All England champions. Current world number 2s. There's former world number 2s.
I don't think we can hope for another 4-hour session, can we?
No. One will be quick.
Lindown should be. He sometimes messes around when he plays Tafik though, doesn't he? Saina should be quick as well. Saina should be quick. Sato's in no sort of form. Ladies doubles.
She's fit to drop. She's exhausted.
She doesn't look good, does she?
No. Okay. Here we go.
There we go.
Hello and welcome to Liuzhou for the second session on day 2 of competition at the Li-Ning BWF World Superseries Finals. The culmination of the OSIM BWF World Superseries. The 12 tournaments which make up the Super Series have all been completed, as you can see, and it is just the Super Series Finals left for this calendar year. Top 8 players in each discipline have qualified for the finals, and that's our schedule for this evening's play. We're starting with mixed doubles, then we've got women's singles, women's doubles and men's doubles to finish off. And if you were with us yesterday evening, you'll have seen Jung and Lee in the last match last night in an absolute thriller in men's doubles against Ku and Tan from Malaysia. So once again, a very good lineup, and I think that's a reflection of the fact that the top 8 players and pairs in all 5 disciplines have accepted the invitation to participate in these Super Series finals, and therefore this is the strongest of competitions, and we really have seen some excellent matches so far. So surprisingly, this afternoon, only one of our 5 matches went the full distance. That was men's doubles, and Kai Yun and Fu Haifeng, the current world champions, absolutely fighting for survival in Group A. They needed 3 games to overcome Hashimoto and Hirata of Japan. And remember, of course, Kai and Fu had lost their first group match against their teammates from China, Chai Biao and Guo Zhendong. So things all getting very tight in these groups now, and some very interesting matchups. Well, I'm Jill Clark, sitting alongside former England head coach Ian Wright. And Ian, as expected, when you've got the best players in the world all competing in a round-robin competition, we are seeing some thrilling matches.
Yeah, the standard's been very high considering how much these players have played this year. They're all highly motivated for this season end finale, and as you say, there's been some great matches, and the pool aspect brings another dimension to the event. They're not used to it, slightly different, and it's throwing up some interesting scenarios.
Yes, it certainly is, because we'll explain a little bit more later, but just to give you the principle, of course, the 8 qualifiers divided into 2 groups of 4 per group, and then everybody plays everyone else within the group, the other 3 pairs or players, and then the top 2 in the group will progress through to the semi-final stage, which of course then becomes a knockout competition. And because already we've had in several groups players won and lost one, it's all becoming a rather complicated mathematical equation as to who is going to qualify. And as far as this mixed doubles is concerned, this is a match from Group A, and the Chinese combination of Zhu Chen and Ma Jin, the number 2 pair in the world rankings. They have played one so far and lost one, because they lost to their teammates Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei in 3 games. Their opponents, Tantoe Ahmad and Liliana Natsir, played one yesterday and won one. So really, this is as with Kai and Fu in the men's doubles, this is a fight for survival as far as Zhu Chen and Ma Jin are concerned.
Yes, if they lose this one, they're out. It's official. With the way the other results have gone, they can't qualify if they lose this one, so there's a little bit of extra pressure on them tonight.
Yes, because current world number 2s against the former world number 2s. Intriguing prospect, it really is. So Zhu Chen, 27 years of age, and his partner, there she is, Ma Jin, 23, comes from Qingdao, which of course is where the Sudirman Cup was played earlier this year. Sudirman Cup Mixed World Team Championships, which were won by China, and Qingdao also the venue for the 2008 Olympic Games. So Ma Jin, former world champion in mixed doubles, but with a different partner, with Jung Bo. And you can see their win-loss record is the same for their careers as for this year, and that obviously tells us that they only formed their partnership at the beginning of this year, and already won the All England title. Wonderful start, and quite extraordinary that within the space of 12 months they go from a brand new pairing to number 2 in the world. Well, virtually the same thing happened with the Indonesians, because 24-year-old Tantoe Ahmad, he and his partner have spent a total of 9 weeks this year at number 2 in the world rankings. Liliana Natsir, so vastly experienced, 26 years of age, born in Manado, which is the north of North Sulawesi. And this the 3rd meeting between the 2 pairs. Last time they met was the semi-final of the French Open. So 1-1 for the year as far as head-to-head encounters are concerned, as we look at our court officials for this match. But when we look at their Super Series rankings, well, Zhu Chen and Ma Jin, they've only played 9 tournaments, so they're number 3 in the Super Series rankings, and hence ranked 3 here at the Super Series finals. Normally, Ian, rankings are all done from the world ranking, but obviously with Super Series finals, it's the Super Series ranking that counts towards the seeding position.
Yes, it's a separate event, Super Series, and it's been a very, very interesting year, I'd have to say. Been some great matches, higher level competition, really healthy for our sport, I'd have to say.
Yes, I concur with that wholeheartedly. Really has been a wonderful year. First time, of course, that we've had a title sponsor, OSIM, the title sponsor of the Super Series, and the first time ever we've had premier events, 5 premier events this year. And for this new Indonesian combination, they won 2 Super Series titles, India and Singapore. For this Chinese combination, the same. They too have won 2 Super Series. The All England, which I've mentioned, and also the China Masters. So the Indonesians, Tantowi Ahmad and Liliana Natsia, nearest to us.
Nice sharp start from Margin. As soon as the shuttle started to drop on the mid-court to her opponents, anticipated the cross drive and took it beautifully.
Great angle from Tantowi Ahmad. Liliana Natsia, of course, was beaten finalist at the Super Series Finals in 2008 in Kota Kinabalu when she was still playing with Nova Widianto. So the 2 women on court, 3 world mixed doubles titles between them. And I suppose a big part of the tactics and battle here, Ian, is which one of the 2 of them can dominate the front of the court.
Yeah, both very good front court players, both read the game very well. On this particular occasion, I may slightly disagree with you. I think it's which of the 2 male players can get their female partner into the game on the front court. Both these guys are a little bit prone to playing for themselves from the rear court.
Well, here we are, 5 points in, and the umpire is already saying no delaying tactics. But in fairness, Ian, I mean, that's always the case in mixed doubles, isn't it? About the man has got to hit in the right place to get the woman involved at the front of the court.
Yeah, I can think with the 2 girls here, though, I can think we can take it as given they're going to fight for that front court. But both of these men really have got a bit of a reputation for sometimes being a little bit headless, shall we say, with their play, tending to go for power rather than placement, and tending to try to finish the points themselves rather than play for their partners. So it'll be interesting to see how this game develops. Both of the male players are what you might call from the more macho style of mixed doubles player.
Oh, it's a good rally.
Yeah, good pressure from Tantau in the rear court, and eventually Natsia able to anticipate the mid-court shot, step out and finish it.
Oh, service fault called. Struck above the waist. It's unusual. She doesn't often get called a fault, does she?
That was Tantawi. he occasionally does get called. It's quite a strange combination when you look at them when he's serving, because he tends to serve through, almost through the hair of Natsir at times.
Yeah, in fact, I've seen opponents complain that they can't actually see the shuttle.
Yeah, I think I'd be asking questions of that as well. It's a very, what should we call, unique setup they've got when Tan Tao is serving. Yeah, match very much attack dominated at the moment. Whichever pair's taking the attack is winning the points at the moment. Interested spectator there. Jiangnan, world number 1.
Yes, very quick. Get back to that.
Yeah, here we'll see this setup. That's here, almost in between Tan Tao and the receiver. There, serving right over her head, look. This little battle for control of the net. You'll see it, little net exchange. Neither girl wanting to give the attack away, lift the shuttle.
Softer smash there, and Zhu Chen not able to deal with the fact that he needed to put a bit of pace on it himself in his defensive shot.
Yeah, nice change of pace, change of direction as well over onto the forehand defence.
Well, good start by the Indonesians. 5-point advantage, mid-game interval. Indonesians appear to be without a coach, and that's very odd.
It is. There's Indonesian coaches in the hall. They had a coach with them yesterday.
But this is interesting, though, isn't it, Ian? The fact that it's Liliana Natsir that's doing the talking, doing the direction of tactically what they should be doing. She is more experienced, after all.
Yeah, 2 world titles, I think, gives her that right. And so far, you'd have to say she's the dominating factor in this match. She's been able to get in, get control of the front court, and create a lot of attacking opportunities for her partner. That's a good serve.
5 straight points for the Indonesians. Oh, my word, that's brilliant.
She's on a game today so far. And look how she changed sides when Tan Tao serves. Quite unusual. Normally the female players, when the male's serving, stay on one side or the other. And that's here, actually changes sides with the service.
Oh, missed opportunity.
Yeah, she's disappointed with that. Easy opportunity for a player of her level. Shuttle above net height.
Same again. Well, she had the Midas touch at the start of the game, didn't she? And now, all of a sudden, it's gone wrong.
Yeah, that's two relatively easy mistakes.
Yeah, goodness me.
Well, she played 4 shots there that were much more difficult than the last two she's missed, you'd have to say.
Yeah.
This was complicated. Quick reactions, good racket work. Again, setting it up well for a partner. Same again, it's Natsir who forces the lift. Going to say I was surprised he went cross on Margin there, because actually they've been winning the points against the defence of Zhu. That actually put them out of position from then on. They were always struggling.
That's very good judgment.
Got away with it, dangerous return, letting Natsir intercept third shot.
Oh, that's quick, well read from Margin.
Yeah, not seen much of her yet. Natsir's been so good. But this time, she read the block, was quickly into position.
Great smash. Good rally. It's going to go wide. Oh my goodness, he's taken it. I'm sure that was going to go wide.
Yeah, that was drifting well out.
Great rally though.
Great rally again, Tantawi though. Just attacking cross against Margin, and I just feel Margin's defence is at least the equal of Zhu. It's not really a weakness there. It's a very dangerous tactic. Going right across the court, puts his partner out of position.
Well, you say we haven't seen much of Margin so far because of the quality of her opponent. Her nickname is Motor. Anything to do with her style of play, do you think? Well, we haven't got the inside scoop on that yet, have we?
That's good angle, clever. Should have seen that Natsir was trying to stay up the court on defence, took the pace off and got it underneath the defensive position of Natsir.
Finds the nets, and therefore the Chinese creeping their way back.
Yeah,
just 2 points in it now.
Yeah, again, it's the cross attack. It's a cross attack on Margins, putting them out of position. He needs to go more centre there rather than trying to attack the body of Margin.
14-16.
That's good.
Yeah, she's motoring now, living up to her name. excellent rally to draw back level.
Yeah, both players really playing well at the same time at the moment.
Four straight points from 12-16 down. There's the confirmation, 16 all.
So often the way, isn't it? It's on margin service. She does serve well under pressure.
Excellent rally. This is just getting better and better.
Neither pair wanting to lift there. Both pairs probing the mid-court, refusing the lift. Eventually, when the shuttle does come up, Natsir finds a great angle.
That was an important point as far as the Indonesians were concerned, having looked to be cruising. 16-12 up, suddenly to be caught back at 16 all. Get their noses in front once again. Just 1 point advantage, 17-16. Make that two-point advantage now. The crucial moments.
Really good serve. Su Chen forced to push the shuttle upwards. Tantau was quick onto it. Played back into the body.
Oh my goodness, how did she miss that? And Natsir sort of saying, my goodness, how did I get away with it? Perhaps lack of concentration because it was a little too easy.
I think it was the miss hit, just broke her timing, just misjudged it. Shuttle maybe turning a little with the miss hit. Certainly crucial.
Yeah. As having had a little run of 4 straight points for the Chinese pair, now 4 straight points, and therefore 4 game points for Ahmad and Natsir. Clever from margin. She got it past Tantowi Ahmad.
Yeah, just held the return. He's really been looking to get up the court and dominate from the mid. Just held that and flicked that into the back corner. Just deceived him.
Yeah. Smash from Tantowi Ahmad in the right place to get his partner Liliana Natsir to intercept the straight reply, which she duly did. And the opening game 21-17 in favour of the Indonesians. 18 minutes of play. Well, still no Indonesian coach out on court. What would you be saying to the Chinese pair, Ian?
I think the clue was in that little return of serve from margin. I think they do need to just use the rear court a little bit. And that's going to... Tantowi has to move back and take more shuttles in the rear court. That takes Natsir a little bit further away from the net position and creates a bit of space. They're trying to play a very tight game against 2 players in the front half of the court at the moment. And I think just using the rear court a little bit will help them create more space and maybe get margin into the game a little bit more.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what an extraordinary shot from Tontowi Ahmad. Got the shuttle back, but didn't really get any advantage. In fact, the opposite, but great to watch.
Good serve from Margin. Able to intercept the third shot there. It's a little bit behind, but still showing great skill to be able to turn the shuttle across the court and win the point. Great serving. We said it in the first game. Margin does tend to get runs of point on a service.
Oh, it's called good. Wow. Natsir doesn't believe the call. No overrule from the umpire. Just lost her concentration on that shot, Natsir. Missed it.
Well, it's a great start from the Chinese pair, but you know, the question I'd be asking here is, the Chinese pair had the coaches coming out with very clear tactics, something to focus on. The Indonesian pair without a coach, just maybe not quite focused at the start of this second game.
Well, and quite frankly, with an 8-point deficit right at the start, I mean, you've got to question whether at this level you can come back from that sort of...
No, you'd have to say it's almost game over, this one.
Yeah.
That's good from Margin. She's so dangerous, they've let her into the game, haven't they, at the start of this second game. They've just relaxed a touch, come out, not as returned as well as they did at the start of the first game, and suddenly Margin's all over it. Takes a net cord to stop the run. But 8 points on the service was really crucial there. Will have settled any nerves. Tantawi got the attack, he was quite patient. 1 drop, 2 drops, and then a cross-court smash. Takes the play away from his partner.
Yeah.
For me, he just smashes cross a little bit too much, particularly with the playing with Natsir. Surely he wants to get the shuttle in front of her, channel the attack a little bit more.
turnaround in fortunes. And a 9-point advantage to Zhu Chen and Ma Jin at the mid-game interval. While we're looking at the Chinese pair, I was just having a glance down at the Indonesians, and there didn't seem to be quite so much communication between the two of them. I don't know whether pairs say to themselves at this sort of deficit, okay, well, maybe this second game's beyond us, let's just save ourselves for the third. But in all honesty, you know, you've got to think that they've got to at least try and find some form here in the second game.
They need to get back on the game, find a rhythm again, refine the intensity they had in the first game. They played with really good intensity, and all that was dissipated in the first 5 or 6 points of the second game, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
They built up a lot of pressure, a lot of question marks at the end of that first game. The Chinese pair know if they lose this, they're out. So they've got them under real pressure and just release that pressure. His concentration's really gone.
She had what she thought was a bad call early stages, which made it 5-love to the Chinese, but she's got so much experience. You can't allow that sort of thing to affect you so much in a match.
No, they're playing as though they lost the first game, not won the first game at the moment. Again, it's this cross smash, one straight and then goes straight across. Puts himself out of position. Natsir's not in front of the shuttle.
Well, a big high lift early stages of that rally from Liliana Natsir. An indication of her state of mind, I think. Well, this is disappointing, I have to say. That's going to go wide. When you think of the intensity of the opening game, and here we are seeing players clearing to each other.
Yeah, I mean, even if maybe I'm being repetitive, but I'm sure a coach would have gone on at the end of that first game saying, great game, right, back to 0-0. First 5 or 6 points here are crucial. You've really got to be tough, and if you're tough, you've got a great chance. And they came out, and the intensity was gone. And this is a very poor second game. It's going to be difficult to get going again in the third game now. They've lost all the rhythm they established in the first game.
Service over, 5-17.
I appreciate your point there, Ian, but I think, you know, you've also got to put part of the blame very much on the players, because, you know, you've got to say to yourself as a player, yeah, exactly what you've just described that the coach would say, but the players themselves, it was almost as if, you know, oh good, you know, it wasn't like it's only the first game. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep pushing hard.
No, I mean, it's the players' responsibility, but I mean, during the year, it's the first time I've seen them without a coach. So it's a slightly different situation for them. They play the whole year with Super Series with the coach going on, and then suddenly they're in a situation. They had a coach going on yesterday, and I think you know, sometimes unfortunately players become a little bit reliant on that.
Yeah.
And
good point.
Here, certainly they haven't dealt with the situation on their own.
No. Go and freelance your services in a minute, Ian.
It'll be tough work for this third game, I have to say. End of the first game, I wouldn't have minded. It'll be a tough break to do now after a sort of lethargic set like this.
Yeah,
just another example. I mean, they had a winning formula in the first game where they were keeping margin out of the game. And they dropped the intensity. And who appears? Margin, and she's been all over this second set. Right from that first run of service.
Double quick time. Gaining points here to level this match at 1 game apiece. Oh, smashed it long. 21-7. 32 minutes in total. 18 minutes for the opening game, 2-minute interval.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the quickest sets of the week. Just shows with this scoring system, you just can't afford to relax. One little run of points changes the whole momentum of a game. Now they've got to be really tough, the Indonesian pair, if they want a chance in this game. These first 4 or 5 points are absolutely critical.
Well, certainly if you were with us earlier today when we watched Simon Santoso of Indonesia playing against the world #1 Liuzhou, Indonesian coach was down on court. Does seem an odd situation. Well, we'll certainly learn something about the characters of the Indonesians right now, because they were completely outplayed in that second game, and they got the character to lift their heads, lift their games, lift the intensity again, and reproduce the sort of form that they showed us in the opening game. That's miles in. Good serve again.
Disappointed there, read it well, got in quickly. Racket work just let her down.
Much better rally.
Yeah, a bit more intensity. Yeah, and there's that deeper return we were talking about.
Yeah.
First game. Chen was trying to just probe the mid-court and Tantawi was all over it. That deeper return poses much more problems.
It's landed in.
Yeah, quite well in as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, that's more like it.
Service over. 3,
That's what we've seen in the first game, getting in, getting control of that front court.
Well, it may look dramatic around the back shots, but
Yeah, you rarely win the point with it. It means you're under pressure, it means you're taking it late, you're out of position. Normally goes up in the air as well as it did there.
service over. 5, 4.
right idea, and that he was trying to guide it across court, Zhu Chen.
Yeah, I think tactically it's better from Tantawi though, not hitting the cross smash there. He concentrated on one player, kept the shuttle in front of his partner.
Well taken.
Service over. 7, 5.
Chinese pair back level.
That's a good smash, that's better. Good angle to the centre to finish. Not going across the court, giving his opponent a chance to get a racket on it. Steered. The turn was into his body, just managed to create enough space around his body to move the shuttle away from the opponent.
Well, umpire has called a fault on margin. Well,
no, don't think so. That was a great shot, in fact.
It was indeed.
Fantastic shot.
Guangxi was involved in a little bit of controversy yesterday when we clearly saw a double hit and it wasn't called. And that, I'm not sure, is the right decision there either.
No, shuttle was in between the racket and the net there.
Yeah.
Oh, 10, 9.
Well, psychologically, it's going to be crucial whoever wins this next point have the advantage at the change of ends.
Good serve and a good third shot again from margin.
And the advantage is indeed world number twos.
That's good racket work.
It's wonderful, isn't it? And good body positioning and keeping in balance.
Yeah, not trying to hit the shuttle hard, guiding the shuttle downwards. Past Natsir. There's danger here for the Indonesians. Change of ends, refocus.
Yeah.
It's going to be margin coming out serving. That's where the Chinese have been very dangerous. Scored a lot of runs of points on margin service. First couple of points here are crucial.
11, 10, play.
Pushed it long.
Missed it.
Service over. 11, 4.
That's a clever return of serve. Just enough pace on it to make it very awkward.
Yeah, got the net cord, pushed it onto the tape. That's a deliberate return, deliberate net cord.
Maybe just a lack of experience here from Tantowi Ahmad.
Yeah, never really got into a good position for that, did he?
No.
Didn't look confident with it.
Total lack of understanding between the two Indonesian players.
Yeah, good intensity from the Chinese pair, though. You have to give credit there. They were under a lot of pressure. Tantowi, good return of serve, good smash down the line. Chinese fighting really hard. Good defensive play.
Oh, well missed.
He's tried everything to hit it. Took the drift, beat them all there.
12, 14.
Yeah, it was quite a long way out too, wasn't it? Well, you just never know.
It was a big point.
Yeah. Still concentrating their attack and their pressure on Tantowi Ahmad, and that's understandable. Misjudgments from the young Indonesian.
Yeah, certainly feeling the pressure in the last 3 or 4 points. Chinese pair have directed a lot of shuttles to him. I'm afraid he's not coping with it very well at the moment.
Now this should be a different serve. Look, there's a different hand signal. A little confusing. Look at that intensity, the expression there from Zhu Chen. Opened up a 5-point cushion.
Service over. 13-17.
That's a good serve.
A couple more quick points and this could be very, very interesting indeed.
Again, Tower taking the shuttle low on the mid-court. He lifts cross and his partner's in front of him. And that's he's got nowhere to go, really. If he's under pressure there, he's really got to lift straight, and then that's here can come out and She's got time to find a defensive position.
Just wide.
He gave himself no margin here, going for the line. 3 points down. Have to question that. Could have gone centre, got his partner into the game.
Out. Service over. 16-19.
Now or never as far as the Indonesians are concerned.
That was good. She read that all the way, didn't she? Changed the play with a flick serve, stepped out on the straight, took the interception, took the responsibility for that point.
Gone wide as well.
18-19.
Goodness me, this is an important serve.
Again, you have to say, question the Chinese tactics. Last couple of points, they've let Natsir in.
Well. 19 all. 4 straight points. Good serve.
Sensible play from Margin, going to the more inexperienced Tantawi, and he makes the mistake. Natsir basically won the previous 3 points on her own.
So match point now to Zhu Chen and Margin. It's all level. Well, had the courage there, did Tantowi Ahmad. Well, it was the previous one to that where he really took it early at the net. 20 all. And he will require extra points until there's a clear 2-point winning margin.
Play.
Just enough pace on the return to make it awkward for Liliana Natsir.
Yeah, I think that's what they talked about. I think Tantawi had said, I'm going to serve centre. Look for that mid-court push.
Match point number 2. Good serve. Down the line. Well, I thought it was a correct call. The Indonesians weren't convinced. And on their second match point opportunity, Zhu Chen and Margin secure the victory.
That's won by Zhu Chen.
17-21, 21-7, 22-20 in the deciding game. And that obviously absolutely vital as far as the group standings are concerned. It was a must-win situation for Zhu Chen and Ma Jin, and they have delivered. There's confirmation of the score. And 55 minutes to get that victory. So, what a thrilling opening match for our evening session, that mixed doubles. You can see that long 3-game match. Women's singles is going to be on next, and then we'll have men's singles and the current world and Olympic champion Lin Dan up against the former world and Olympic champion Taufik Hidayat from Indonesia. Then women's doubles will follow that, and the Asian Games gold medalist Tian Qing and Zhao Yunlei up against Matsuo and Nato from Japan. And the last of our matches this evening, men's doubles, Zhang Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae up against Mohamed Hassan and Bona Septano of Indonesia. So still some very mouth-watering prospects to come. Matchups in this Li-Ning BWF World Superseries Finals here in Liuzhou in China. And the two players who will be coming on for the next match, a glimpse into the future, I think, of women's singles, with two very, very talented youngsters in the form of Saina Nehwal and Sayaka Sato of Japan, led out by Saina Nehwal. This actually a repeat of the World Junior Championships in 2008. Now, as far as these finals are concerned, this is a Group B match. Saina Nehwal is the 3-4 seed for the Super Series finals, because the number 3 ranked player in the world, one on the Super Series list, not able to be here, Wang Shoshian, because only 2 players per country permitted into the Super Series finals. Saina Nehwal lives and trains in Hyderabad. The 21-year-old, Super Series ranking of 5. Having played 11 events, just missed the Malaysia event, and that's because she missed these Super Series finals of 2010 due to an ankle injury. But the left-hander, Sayaka Sato, just 20 years of age, number 7 on the Super Series ranking list. All 12 tournaments she's supported. 12 of 24 individual tournaments she's played this year. For Saina Nehwal, has been as high as number 2 on the world rankings, but down at number 4 at the moment. Coached by Pilela Gopichand, Commonwealth Games gold medalist. Saina Nehwal, and in fact was the number 2 seed at the World Championships last year in Paris, lost in the quarter-final. David Craig from Scotland and Greg Vellacott from Australia are two match officials. Now, obviously both of these players played yesterday. Sato played against Guangxi and didn't even reach double figures in either game. Lost in double quick time, 21-7, 21-9 in 26 minutes. Whereas Nehwal had a real battle against another left-hander, Liuzhou. Came through in an hour and 4 minutes, 21-14 in the deciding game. Now this is the third meeting between these two players, in senior badminton that is, whilst they've played against each other in the World Junior Championships. That doesn't count towards world rankings or head-to-head statistics. And of the previous two encounters, they've each won one of them. But in slightly unusual, the fact that we have here in Group B, 3 of the 4 players are left-handers. That is unusual, isn't it?
It is, yes.
I don't know whether you were... There's Pulela Gopachand. I don't know if you were able to get a glimpse of Nehwal's match yesterday against Liuzhou, but an hour and 4 minutes suggests that it was a very tough encounter. And whilst obviously you and I had concerns about the form of Sato in her match against Guangxi, she looked mentally tired, I think, more than anything, having played so many tournaments this year. I'm just wondering if, in fact, really the physicality of Sina's match yesterday will have a detrimental effect today.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't think so. I would think she'll be very pleased with the victory. It's a player who's posed a lot of problems to her in the past. Awkward game, counter-attack type game. She's had a lot of problems with her this year when she's played her. So I think she'll actually be on a bit of a high having won that. She knows if she can win today, she'll be through to the semis. So I think she'll be in quite a positive frame of mind for this match.
Yeah.
Whereas Sato really did struggle yesterday, you have to say. Didn't look in any sort of form.
Yes, we had quite a long discussion yesterday about Sato and about her tournament programme and the development of younger players when they don't have so many excellent sparring partners as the Chinese women's singles players do. Obviously in the training camp there's so many good Chinese women's singles players, and so therefore players from other countries have to go out and play more tournaments. But you know, I think it's been an interesting development as well with Nehwal, because of course 2 years ago she won her first Super Series title, the Indonesian Open, then retained it a year after that. In fact, had a great run of 3 tournaments back to back, and 2 of those being Super Series tournaments. And this year struggled more in that I think other players have really taken her very seriously. They've been watching her style of play, they've worked out where her strengths, where her weaknesses are, and I have to say it's a shame to read some of the stories in the Indian media about, well, not being too harsh on Nehwal, but being rather negative, sort of saying she's half a pace slower than she was a year ago and she's really got to prove herself again. I always think with the player's development there's a real sort of steep learning curve where there's a dramatic improvement and then there's a time of consolidation.
Yeah, I think this year's been a bit special for her actually, because She had a great year in 2010, really hit the highs, played really well, and then just at the end of 2010, beginning of 2011, she had that ankle injury and she missed a couple of events, and I had the feeling, and I think we spoke about it at the time, that she came back a little bit early. Her movement wasn't good and she lost to opponents who she'd been beaten in 2010, and I think it really affected her confidence, and I think it's taken her a long time to get back and recover from that. And it's not necessarily the injury, but the sort of loss of confidence of coming back a little bit too early, losing some matches. Her movement wasn't great, and I think it's taken a long time to recover from that.
Yes, a sort of psychological scarring from feeling under pressure to play the Super Series events when not 100% fit.
Yeah, she definitely came back too early. She wasn't confident, she wasn't moving 100% as we know she could. Yeah, straight down the line, good call. And she's had a patchy season. She's had some really good tournaments, but she's had some strange results. You'd also say when she got to world number 2, she had some one or two tough draws as well when she was coming back from the injury. She drew high-class Chinese opponents in first and second rounds, and where on paper it looked a bad result for a second seed to be losing, you know, these were players that were not easy to beat for her.
But the message is that the fans in India should not panic. She's a class player and she hasn't lost that talent or class overnight. She's had an injury problem and she maybe psychologically had a bit of a dent, but keep supporting.
Yeah, and from one or two of the interviews around the time, I seemed to have the feeling that she'd never had an injury. You know, she'd played injury-free through her junior career, and I think it was a little bit different for her. And you need to learn how to deal with these things and learn to be patient with the comeback and everything, and know your own body.
Yeah.
Understand, you know, how your own body and your own mind works, and when you're ready to come back. All part of the learning process.
Oh, good net shot. Oh my goodness gracious, what on earth happened there? Completely changed her mind, surely.
It's very strange. Completely distracted. Maybe there's just something drifted down from the ceiling, distracted her. She certainly looked straight up afterwards. Suspiciously at that shuttle, that's for sure.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a good angle. Nice touch there. Forced to take the shuttle from very low down, but lovely control. Here we'll see it. Get a good angle of it there. Onto the top of the tape. Nice touch.
Of course, the other learning curve, I suppose, you've already talked about learning to deal with injuries and coming back and knowing your own body, but I suppose also for Saina Nehwal to reach the status of world number 2 at such a young age, to command such interest in her home country, you've also got to learn with the burden, to deal with the burden of expectation, because all of a sudden the media are talking about you, everybody's expecting you to produce outstanding results week in, week out, and that's just not humanly possible. I mean, it's, you know, it's quite natural to have highs and lows throughout the season, and I think learning to deal with that burden of expectation is something else that takes time.
It is, but I think no one's more impatient than Saina herself. She puts a lot of pressure on herself, I think. She's desperate to achieve, she's desperate to win things. And, you know, I don't think she's the finished article yet.
Oh, definitely not.
You know,
yeah.
You know, we saw it there a little bit. You know, for me, it's a big smash or it's a slow drop. The cuts are not there yet. The subtle changes in variation of pace. You know, she's got 100% smash or it's a 50% pace sort of drop shot, and she needs the 60%, the 70%, more variety on the attacking shots, more change of pace, better angles. These are things that will come.
Yeah, she's only 21 years of age.
And she's been #1 in India for a long time already, so you know, her sparring opportunities at home are limited. She's very much on her own, although there's a very talented young player coming through behind her, you'd have to say. India's got a great crop of young players coming through, both male and female at the moment.
Yeah, Sindar, I think, the 16-year-old women's singles player.
Looks very good.
But also, Ian, I mean, we ought to make mention of the fact that the Japanese nationals last week finished on Sunday, and a 16-year-old, 16 years, 4 months, won the women's singles title. Well, that's absolutely extraordinary. She didn't actually play the final because Hiroshi was not well, but it is still extraordinary that a 16-year-old has won the Japanese nationals.
Well, there's a fantastic crop of young girls coming through at the moment, you'd have to say. Thailand's got a great group coming through. Taiwan, Japan. There's some real talent coming through at the moment on the female side. It's interesting, isn't it? If you took the average age of the ladies singles Super Series at the moment and the men's,
yes,
there's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
A lot of teenagers breaking through on the girls' scene at the moment, really at world-class level.
Yes, and yet we were talking yesterday about the men's singles and the longevity of, well, 4 players that have remained at the top of world badminton for almost a decade. Lindan, Lee Chong-wei, Peter Gader, Taufik Hidayat. Of course, there's a few more coming into the mix now with the likes of Chen Long.
Yeah, Chen Long would be the obvious one. He's the younger player that has broken through. But after that, it's been older players that have been moving up the rankings, really. Sho Sasaki.
Yeah.
Tian Min from Vietnam. These are not young players, but they've gradually improved over the years. Broken through into the top 10 this year. As for the really young players, they're not around at Super Series level at the moment on the men's side. Victor Axelson's probably the youngest that has played Super Series this year, I would think. Former World Junior Champion. Neither player really able to dominate this game at the moment.
Oof, that was desperate.
Well, nearly stopped, didn't it? The drift nearly stopped that. Started off, it was going a long way out. The wind really held it up.
Well, David Craig, the umpire, not allowing Sato tail down. That's nice.
Well, I think of Shasneta, but of course having broken that run of points shows that really it was just a tactical thing. She wanted to break the game up. If she was that desperate, she should have asked again.
So just to explain that a little bit further, the protocol, whilst it's not a rule, is that if you ask to towel down and you're the receiver, it's perceived as...
Yeah, I mean, Saina had won 4 consecutive points. She was on a roll. And Sato, I think the umpire decided that Sato was just trying to break the game up, trying to break the rhythm of her opponent, so he made her play on. I think if she'd have asked after she'd won the point and broken that run of points, he would have probably said yes.
Overdone it. Well, string's gone in the racket of Saina Nehwal.
Well, that'll frustrate Sato even more when she sees this. Clear would have probably done with broken strings.
Yeah, look of anguish.
Good change of direction. Sato was in control for most of that rally, getting in early, forcing Saina to use the high lift. Nice change of direction, forcing Sato off balance. Change of direction, isn't it, that poses the problem. Cross defense at the moment is very effective here for Saina.
Yeah. Well, it was that run, I think, of 6 points from 8-12 down to 14-12 that really changed the momentum of this. Saina now just 2 points away from this opening game. Make that 1 point away. Twelve or 15 points. Yeah, the opening game coming from behind. And as confirmed by the umpire, takes the opening game 21-16 in 17 minutes of play.
And again, it was the quick change of direction that caused the problem. Sato struggling a little bit just to sort of position her feet in the... to get a good push off to change direction. She's actually moving when Saina's hitting the shuttle, and that makes it more difficult to change direction. You really need to be just pausing and getting into a solid base position when your opponent strikes the shuttle, but Sato's actually moving a lot of the time. when Sina's hitting, and that's making it difficult for her to change direction. Japanese coach talking very much about options from the front of the court. When she's got in, she's shown good touch around the front of the court. Just maybe needs to mix it up a little bit with 1-2 quick pushes to the rear court.
Second game. Level. Play.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, nice touch, just held it, fixed her opponent. And just changed the direction. The key was taking the shuttle early.
It's a good rally. Oh my goodness, great net shot from the left-hander. My goodness, every inch of the court was explored in that rally.
Yeah, you had the feeling Sina was always in control of the rally right to the end. Sina found a nice rhythm at the end of that first game. Sato was certainly having to work extremely hard throughout the whole of that rally. Sina showing good precision, as you say, using every inch of the court. Sato did well, stuck in there and eventually got a chance to take it early at the net and found a lovely net roll.
Indecision at the back of the court as to whether to play the shuttle or not.
Yeah, definitely hesitated there.
Oh, that's lovely. Finds the line. Sato wasn't convinced.
Yeah, we're quite well placed down that line. Certainly looked in from here. So it actually skidded on the line. And that's gone with the drift. Drift still very much left to right as we look at the court. Quite a strong current of air down the hall. That is nice variety, using the centre of the court. First time she's done that. Mixing her attack up a little bit.
And that's come back in.
Yeah, that's the drift again. We actually had a good view of that, didn't we? Could see the shuttle coming back. Started it outside the court, drifted it back in.
Missed it. Were you a note taker?
Yes, I was, yeah. And I've still got them all.
Is that right?
Yeah, don't like throwing coaching notes away.
Just seemed to run out of ideas at the back of the court there. Sayaka Sato.
Good pressure, good movement. Moving quickly backwards on that diagonal. Getting behind the shuttle really well. Getting into a good, powerful position.
Short. Oh my goodness, she should have put that away.
It's a strange shot.
Well, she had to play an extra 5 or 6 shots there, didn't she?
Yep. Yep. 2 or 3 shots later, she smashed from about 3 metres further back in the court. Sato all off balance there.
Oh, fault call, my goodness. She seemed a little bit hesitant for a start as to whether the shuttle was going to come over. Hopefully we'll see that again, but my goodness, she played a magnificent shot to the back of the court.
Oh,
yes.
That's a big fault.
Yes, a massive fault.
I'm not even sure the shuttle was going over.
Well, I thought in the previous match that the umpire made an incorrect decision. That was absolutely spot on.
Yeah, that was an easy one for him.
This is a run of 5 straight points, and it's pressure at exactly the right moment, isn't it?
Yeah, Sina looks as though she's refound a little bit of confidence. I think that win last night will have done her a lot of good. It's an opponent she's had problems with in the past. And here, when she needed to up the tempo in the first game, she was able to do it. She was able to pull away at the right moment. In this second game, she looks well in control at the moment. It's Sato that's having to do all the hard work at the moment. Again, it's that quick change of direction, lateral change of direction, that's really causing problems for Sato's footwork. She's not getting a very good base position. Here again, we see she's moving when Sina actually hits the shuttle, which means she's not positioned, ready to move either left or right. She's favouring one leg, and that makes the change of direction very difficult.
Well, he's a very quiet, softly spoken man, is Pulela Gopachan, which makes it a little bit difficult for us to hear what he's saying to his player. We'll have to give him instructions to speak up next time.
Yep, well, they need to get the microphone a bit closer.
11-4.
On a run of 7 straight points. Sato needs to break that run as quickly as possible. That's nice.
Control, but Sato off balance in the rear court. Cross clears dangerous, opened up her own court. Sina took full advantage. That's a nice angle though. It's one of the favourites, that forehand cross drop. Nice disguise, sets up straight, cuts across the shuttle and brings it down across the court.
It'll take a monumental effort though from the Japanese youngster.
Yeah,
and they're just emphasising your point here.
Yeah, she's not really in position to push off, is she?
No, can't change direction. Sets off on the move, and if it's in the wrong direction, it's a big problem. Umpire just warning Sato not to try and influence the line judges.
Again, all off balance. Planted a foot. Didn't really get the racket to the shuttle. See, weight was moving forward as she hit. She wasn't in a solid position. Sato beginning to look a little bit tired. Just had to do a lot of running in this game. That was certainly a tired shot. She intercepted the shuttle very high in the court, but just couldn't control her movement. All off balance.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
Great
that's
angle.
Quick push to the rear court, forcing her opponent to take it late and then using the space across the court. It's that quick change of direction again, very effective.
Oh, that's nice.
17.
Yeah, just cuts this one down shorter than the first one, same direction. And again, the footwork of Sato. All awry, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's Nice. Three points away then from securing her place in the semi-final, with still one match in the group to go.
Service over. 10, 18.
It's gone with the drift again.
18.
I'm sure Gopi asking her to just concentrate, keep the pressure on.
Service over. 19, 11.
Just doing a little mathematical calculation here, and I'm not sure I was right on that. If the other two players in the group, of course, Guangxi has played one match so far and won one. Baiyongju played one, lost one, but if Baiyongju was to beat Guangxi, and then if
11.
Nehwal was to lose to Guangxi, and Baiyongju was to beat Sato, then it'd be very, very complicated. I think we need to get the calculators out.
Yeah, he started to lose me a little bit there, but the key to all of that, I think, will be that Sina beat Bay. So even if Bay gets up to 2 wins, it would be the head-to-head.
Yeah.
And that will put Sina through, so I'm sure there maybe is a mathematical way that she can't qualify, but in reality, I think she can safely say she's through.
So I probably should have just kept quiet and gone with my instinct.
No, I enjoyed listening to it.
Winners of 2 Super Series titles this year. The first, the Malaysia Open, where they beat the now world champions, Guangxi, Xiao Li and Yu Yang in the final of that, and then one in Singapore as well. In contrast, the Japanese pair have never won a Super Series title. The best they've done was last year when they reached the final of the Denmark Open. But Ian, it's been absolutely fascinating, the development of Japanese women's doubles pairs over the last few years, since former Korean legend, but still a legend, Park Ji-won, now coaching in Japan. He really has made a huge difference, and here we are, we have 4 Japanese pairs in the top 8 in the world.
Yes, they've got real depth at the moment, got a real crop of talent coming through, and a lot of them are very young as well. It's looking good for the future of Japanese badminton at the moment, you'd have to say. Some good young ladies singles players coming through as well.
Well, we were slightly worried yesterday about this young lady, Tiang Qing, 25 years of age. So too is her partner, but we were concerned when World Championship silver medalists and Asian Games gold medalists from China were playing against the Danes, Christina Pedersen and Camilla Ruta-Yul. Had a little injury time out. She's got her right knee very heavily strapped. Applied more strapping yesterday. Partner's got her knee strapped as well. And she's a busy lady because, of course, she's in the mixed doubles as well. She and partner Zhang Nan, defending champions of the mixed doubles title at the Super Series Finals. So the left-hander, as far as the 2 Japanese players are concerned, is Mami Nato, taller of the 2 athletes as well. Her partner, 25-year-old Shizuka Matsuo from Osaka. Super Series ranking of 5, having competed in all 12 Super Series events. And Japanese players in general have been great supporters of the Super Series.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of them, although only contracted all the top players to do a minimum of 10 tournaments, so an awful lot of the Japanese players have supported all 12 tournaments.
One of the positives of Japanese ladies doubles at the moment is the actual competition to qualify for these events. Very, very tight for them. The qualifying time went to the last tournament. Last tournament was decisive as to which pairs qualified for the finals, and the qualifying for the Olympics will be just as tight, I think. So I think we'll be seeing them at all the Super Series up to the Olympics as well.
Yeah,
that's where the big points are available. That's where they'll be competing not only against the rest of the world but against each other.
So the number 2 seeds from China getting this Group B match underway. Yes, just picking up on the point you've just made, Ian. Of course, many people would have expected one of the top 2 Japanese pairs, former world number 2s, Maeda and Suetsuna, but they've been having a torrid time recently.
Yeah, they've had a real tough run of results. As I say, probably feeling the pressure of 1 or 2 younger pairs coming through below them as well. Had 1 or 2 bad draws through 1 or 2 of the younger Chinese pairs. They're really struggling at the moment. It's gradually sliding down the rankings.
It's landed in. Now this is actually the 5th meeting between these 2 pairs, previous 4. And this Japanese pair have actually recorded 1 victory over their opponents. That was the first meeting between the 2 pairs. 3 games it was.
I can see a lot of urgency from the Japanese coaches. I think with Tianqing's injury, they'll be looking for it to get through this game as quickly as they can. They want good concentration, good focus, and they'll be hoping for a 2-set victory, I think, on 2 counts, with Zhao Yunlei playing 2 events. She won't want too much court time, but also with the injury to Tianqing, we're wanting her to have as much recovery time between matches as possible. And we can see there she was really hesitant on that lunge to the net. Good power from NATO there, following in.
Luck of the net cord. And apologises and changes the racket. String's gone. Lucky to control that enough to get it over.
Clever smash. Across the retreating player. I saw the space, just too big a swing really. Lost control of the length of the shuttle, way out the back of the court.
Good interception from NATO.
Quite noticeable though, Jill, here. There's real urgency from the Chinese pair. They're playing a very attacking style of play here. Just might be that that will suit the Japanese pair. They like to play on the counter-attack, like to move the shuttle around in defence. Again, too strong from NATO in defence. Well out with the drift. Good placement of the smash. Matsuo setting up on backhand defence. Tianqing just spotting that and hitting across onto the forehand wing, forcing the error.
Change of pace, set up the rally from Zhao Yunlei.
Yeah, nice change of rhythm there. Set it up nicely for a partner.
Incredible defensive play in the middle of that rally, but in no way was that a defensive rally. It was vying for the attack.
Well, of the four Japanese pairs, I feel these two have got the most attacking options, haven't they? NATO provides good power from the rear court. Matsuo's quite aggressive on the forecourt, which is not that common amongst the Japanese girls. She actually likes to have a go in there. But on that occasion, the Japanese defence was equal to it. Error. Clever. Nice shot.
Good rally.
Yeah, both defences are really strong at the moment. Very difficult to win the points from the rear of the court. It's really about trying to get your partner into play in the front court. Both defences look very solid. Could be in for a long game here at this rate. Yeah, not surprising. There's a little break after those two very, very intense rallies. That's a good angle. Sets the partner up. Nice play from the rear court from NATO. Good steep angle downwards, creating the interception opportunity for Matsuo. Fast, flat exchange again. Yeah. Signs that the Chinese pair are just a little bit frustrated at the moment, not getting through from the rear court.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know whether you saw that match at the All England, did you, when this Japanese pair beats this Chinese pair, and again it was the frustration that they were so desperately wanting to attack and they just couldn't get through, and they ran out of ideas, in all honesty.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, if there is a slight weakness in this Chinese pair, it is that they just lack a little bit of penetration from the rear court.
Oh, good serve.
Once or twice this year we have seen them struggle in the bigger, slower halls.
Japanese players absolutely thrive on the long rallies, don't they? They love it. Defending, scrambling the shuttle back. I remember this pair playing the semi-final of the Danish Open last year. It was a match, I think, that lasted an hour and 40 minutes. An hour and 41 minutes, and they still didn't even complete the match. They were only halfway through the third game. Playing against their compatriots. In fact, it was over an hour before the mid-game interval of the second game, so no doubting the fitness level of this Japanese pair.
Well, she knew where the space was, just failed to execute, pushed it out the side.
Good interception.
Yeah, better placement of the smash from the rear court, taking the pace off, concentrating on angle, into the middle, tempting the Japanese to hit upwards. Zhao Yunlei stepping off for the interception. Good doubles. Yeah, good positive counter-attacking defence there. Stepping up the court, taking the shuttle early.
Oh, yeah. Dangerous play from Nato and Matsuo. Matsuo going for the cross court and leaving her partner very exposed to the straight push.
Ambitious. Ran out of patience really in the rear court.
Yeah, they don't. This Chinese pair don't seem to be able to set up the net player quite as well as their compatriots Wang Xiaoli and Yu Yang, who are forever involving the front court player within the rally.
It's quite unusual for a Chinese pair really, that there's two front court specialists in many ways. There's no real power from the rear court, and normally the Chinese, they like to have one player with a little bit more power in the rear court, don't they?
Yeah.
In their combinations. This is a little bit unusual. They rely very heavily on the skill and mid-court to forecourt ability really. It's a nice change of pace.
Another good flick serve. Oh, big gap.
Saw it. I don't know if you're going to see the replay, but she actually had a look before she hit this. Nice awareness. Yeah, just glances. Yeah, you see it there. Just glances over to look where her opponents are. She'd got the time, and she found the space. Nice shot. Nice shot. Good skill there.
It's incredible. I used to quite like that inside-out backhand defence, didn't I? Played that.
Yeah.
Mine didn't work quite as well as that, so.
As I said, this Japanese pair have actually got real potential to play a more expansive game than the traditional Japanese solid sort of defensive type style. Problem is there's one big weakness, and that is when Matsuo's in the rear court. Nato's not really a natural net player, and Matsuo hasn't got a lot of power from the rear court. And the better pairs tend to be able to work that combination and keep Matsuo working in the rear court.
Yeah.
And they're just not effective enough in that combination. When it's the other way around, with Nato at the back, Matsuo in the front court, they're good. And in defense, they've got some nice skills, but it's a glaring weakness, really. Again, good skill in defense from Matsuo. Again, Chinese pushing her into the rear court, and she makes the error.
And that error brings up 6 game points. Well, the umpire's just going to have a word with Zhao Yunlei and Tian Qing and say, don't indicate with the arms that you think the shuttle is long, because I think that was really very close on that back line. Well, convert on their first opportunity. And there's the opening game, 21-14. Minutes of play, some tough rallies, but better attacking play from the Chinese, and that's their reward. So Ian, whilst the Japanese pair do have incredible defences and they battle and battle, picking up on the point you made about it is a glaring weakness in that they have a set or favoured formation, and how do they win the rallies? They're not penetrating enough and putting enough pressure on opponents.
Yeah, I think when Nato's in the rear court, there is some penetration. She hits some good angles. She's left-handed, creates a little bit of variety. But the better pairs will just not let them get into that formation consistently. And that's when the problems occur. We can see the difference in stature between the two girls, and that's the difference in the power.
Yeah, Matsuo, only 157. That's about 5'1", isn't it? And that lack of height is obviously immediately a problem in doubles.
There's a lack of stature as well. She's not the strongest build. She's more of a skill-based game, and she is very skillful, as we saw there in defense a couple of times. Reads the game quite well in the front court. But as I say, against the better pairs, they'll be able to work around the rear court, and there's really not enough penetration when the shuttle's coming onto her like that. Good skill, quick feet to get out of the way, create the space for the swing, change the direction of the shuttle.
Just wide.
It is wide, but again, both the Chinese girls immediately putting their arms out. See it here, both of them. So just roll a little bit further. Yeah, there the arms go out. Don't like to see that.
No, me neither. That's well wide. Yeah,
and again, Nato's not really a natural front court player, is she? She prefers to be in the rear court. But this Chinese pair, very aware of that, very conscious of what the stronger combination is. Forcing Matsuo to the back, Nato at the front, big swings. Not really reading the game at the front court.
Chinese pair were way out of formation. And the Japanese couldn't capitalise.
Again, no real need to go for the line there. Could have gone centre, could have only come back up.
That is superb, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of mixed skill coming out there. Very quick on to third shot.
Yeah, serve out wide for a start, and she was then hunting that push down her backhand side. Oh, it's going wide, but what a rally.
Yeah, all four players looking really solid in defence. Saying really both pairs should be playing a little bit more channel attack for me.
Yeah.
Trying to get their partners into the game in the forecourt. When the opportunities are coming to smash, they're tending to go for lines or go for body rather than going for the centre of the court to get the shuttle coming back up to their partner.
I think in general terms, that's a criticism I have of the Japanese women's doubles pairs in general.
Yeah.
Not enough channel attack. Target the individual players rather than work the rally to involve your partner.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally, not many of them very natural front court players. What's been interesting in the last 12 months is Park's decided that more of them have got to start playing mixed to try and speed them up in that area. And suddenly Japan are playing with a lot of mixed pairs at Super Series level, which traditionally they haven't done. And I do feel that is to try and improve their ladies players' reactions around the front of the court.
Yeah, and that's the big difference, isn't it, when there's a player at the net and they really can put that pressure on. There. Oh, that must have have been desperately close too. With this run of 7 straight points, one wonders if it's the decisive move. So, 7-point advantage at the mid-game interval. Other thing that I wonder, Ian, about the Japanese pair, they very much have their way of playing, and I don't know whether they are adaptable enough to suddenly change tactics and do something completely different.
It was interesting, their coach, last couple of points there was definitely, you could see he was shadowing that he wants them to mix it up a bit more in defence and stop lifting so much. He wants them to try and step on and be a bit more aggressive in defence. From his body language there during that coaching break, it was about trying to press up a little bit in defence, use a bit more drive, blocks, but not the sort of high defensive lifts all the time.
11-4.
Good awareness. Yeah, look well in control now. Got the measure of this Japanese pair. And again, gone for a line. There was no real need. Again, I felt there was space in the centre of the court.
Just wide. Yeah, that was the correct call. And looking straight down that line. And once again, the umpire saying, don't indicate with your arms, don't try and influence the line judges.
Still stepping in, turning the shuttle across the net. Saw the net player coming in straight. See Matsui there. If she's coming in straight, that means her partner's retreating. Therefore there's space on the cross, and she found it beautifully.
Clash of rackets, two Chinese players, but still managed to control it. And now a 10-point advantage. Again, there's no real need to go for such an acute angle and go for the line. They've worked the rally. Simple smash down the centre of the court would have Probably got the reply up to Zhao Yunlei at the net. She could have finished it off.
Yeah, seen that a lot of times in this match. Although they're winning quite comfortably. Made a lot of errors with that.
When she is involved, when she does manage to intercept. One interception, follows it up with a kill. End of rally. He definitely wants the racket up ready at the net, doesn't he? Pushed it long once again, despite being warned 3 or 4 times by the umpire. Tian Qing once again indicating with her arms. Yeah, you can just see that. Arms go out to indicate that it was out.
Missed it, saw the space again.
Far more decisive in this second game. World Championship silver medalists. A whole host of match points. This time they convert. 21-14, 21-8. A little wave to the crowd from Zhao Yunlei. After the injury concerns yesterday with Tian Qing, they'll be very happy and very relieved that was a relatively comfortable victory. 39 minutes for 21-14, 21-8. So just one more match in this evening's session, day 2 of competition here in Liuzhou in China. Super Series Finals, of course, for 2011. Top 8 players and pairs in all 5 disciplines, all here and all battling it out for the Super Series Finals title. Well, round robin stage at the moment for the first 3 days. And as I say, just one more match tonight, and it's men's doubles. Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae of Korea, who were involved in a marathon match late yesterday evening. They're up against Mohammed Hassan and Rona Septano of Indonesia. Nice men's doubles coming up, a Group B encounter. And of course it's Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae, who are the number 2 seeds. Been in the final of the Super Series Finals on all 3 previous occasions, but my goodness, they had to work hard yesterday to overcome their Malaysian opponents, Koo Kian Kiat and Tam Boon Hyong. An hour and 2 minutes for winning through 21-18 in the deciding game. And Ian, the reaction at the end of that match yesterday against the Malaysians by the Koreans was very telling indeed.
Yeah, it was interesting. There was a bit of press this morning where Lee Yong-dae was saying, you know, there's been a lot of rumours in the press that they're injured and they were coming here maybe just to play half a game, take the points. He said, no, 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 they're here to try and win it. Yeah, Jung's got a bit of a shoulder problem, but they wouldn't be here if they didn't think they could actually win it. And certainly the reaction after the win yesterday meant they showed how much it meant to them.
Yeah, absolutely. But this an intriguing contest because both pairs bronze medalists from the World Championships earlier this year. So should be a good contest as far as the Indonesians are concerned. Well, they're fresh from winning a gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games. Number 8 on the Super Series ranking list, having missed just one of the Super Series events, and of course that was Hong Kong, because that clashed with those Southeast Asian Games. So Lee Yong-dae, 23 years of age, his partner 29, and as I say, been in the final of the Super Series Finals on all 3 previous occasions, winning back in 2009. Very, very consistent pair, the Koreans. Have actually reached number 1 in the world ranking. When we were commentating on the China Open, we got our statistics wrong there, didn't we? Because checked the record books, and with the help of a colleague of mine, we've come up with the answer, which was that they became world number 1s on the 20th of January 2009, and we think it was for 3 weeks. Current world ranking of number 2, of course. And there's Mohammed Hassan, 24 years of age, as indeed is his partner, 31 and 15, and that translates into 2 titles this year, Indonesian Grand Prix and of course those SEA Games, the Southeast Asian Games that I've already mentioned. Reached the final of the Japan Super Series event earlier this year. Second time they've been in the final of the Japan Super Series, because they reached the final back in 2008, and probably in that was the time when we all really started taking notice of Hassan and Septano. There's our court officials for this men's doubles. We did briefly see the head-to-head. certainly on current form, very, very difficult to separate these two pairs. Of course, the Koreans been on a terrific run. 11 finals this year from 16 individual tournaments played, winning 6 titles, including the Korean Super Series, the first ever Premier Super Series event, then the China Masters, then the Danish and French, and that was 3 Super Series tournaments that they played together that they won. Because of course the Japan Super Series interrupted that run between China and Denmark, but these two Koreans played with different partners. So met just once previously, and on that occasion won by the Koreans. 3 years ago at the India Grand Prix Gold event.
On my right, Muhammad Hassan, born and Septan, Indonesia. And on my left, Jung Jae-sung, Liuzhou, Korea. Liuzhou Tisa, born and Septano, Nehwal, Li. Service over. 1 love.
Younger brother of Olympic champion Marcus Kido. Septano.
Service over. 1-all.
Very talented family because another sibling, Pierre Bernadette, been specialising recently in mixed doubles.
2-1.
Well, beginning of that rally, as with last night's match, quite unusual. Not used to seeing Liuzhou rotate out away from the net, but with Jung's shoulder problem, he's taking more responsibility in the rear court this week.
4-1.
Jung finding himself more in the net position, following a lot of shuttles in.
Out. Service over. 2-4. Service over. 5-2.
Yeah, well placed smash.
3-5.
Playing with good margin, going to the centre of the court, but getting to the non-racket side, away from the racket. Cooled out, that looked very close.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that.
Service over. 6-4.
Yeah, dangerous game that, playing flat to this Korean pair. Thrive on those flat exchanges. Here we see it again, good example.
7-4.
You've got to go short or deep there, over that mid-court position or in front of it. But it's very difficult to go through it with speed. Both these Korean players, very quick rackets, quick reactions on the mid-court.
Service over. 5-7.
And as far as the Indonesians are concerned, this really is a must-win situation, isn't it? Because their last match on last night against Matthias Bo and Carsten Mogensen went down in 3 games. They want to keep their chances alive of qualifying for the semi-finals. Really have to beat the Koreans.
Service over. 8-5.
Disappointed there, that's his favourite. Push down to the mid-court, step out, intercept on the straight. Yeah, good play.
7-8. Service over. 9-7.
Good judgment.
Service over. 8-9.
Nice.
9-all.
Nice change of pace. Fast footwork, fast preparation, and then just cutting across the shuttle, taking the pace off.
Well, that was extraordinary defence. I thought he was going to get back the next one as well.
He nearly got a net cord winner off it. See here, he wasn't far away. Got it up there.
Certainly not lacking commitment.
Well-controlled rally from the Korean pair, maintaining the attack, working to get their partner in the rally the whole time.
Unorthodox sort of defence there.
That's with the mixed. Indonesian coach there, again I find that a little surprising. Got a big squad of players here. With a few coaches. Not sure what's happening there.
I do hope everything's all right and that coach isn't poorly.
11-9. Play.
Good play from Liuzhou.
He's remarkably clever, isn't he? Instinctive player. Tactically astute.
Yeah, reads the play very well. Sees what options are available. Closes the spaces down.
Service over.
I don't like missing that one.
10. Roll.
Changed the direction of the service a little bit, anticipated the straight reply and then missed it.
That was a great low serve.
I was singing his praises. That's a couple of easy errors really from Liuzhou. He's back in here.
Oh, he's changed his racket. Septono. Oh, and what a glorious shot there from his partner, Mohammed Hassan.
Well, the Koreans were really distracted. They were looking what was happening on the other side of the court, and they weren't sure if it was in or out.
Service over. 13-4.
That's a good rally. A little over-ambitious with that final attempted defensive shot. Really very static in his defensive stance.
It's going to be well in.
Service over. 14-15.
Boon Hyung watching in the wings. That goes down as a simple error, really.
Yeah, Koreans having a real bad patch here at the moment, you'd have to say. A lot of uncharacteristic errors, just relaxed, you could see it there. Didn't step onto the shuttle.
That's clever. Well, just in case what you're wondering what all the rumpus was about. Danish women's doubles pair have just beaten Fuji and Kikiwa of Japan, and the two Japanese players, each of them throwing a racket into the crowd. Lucky fans and souvenirs.
17-16.
These men's doubles players too experienced to get distracted by the noise in the background.
Caught static there.
Yeah, back of the court, Li-Ning channel attack, getting Zhang Jae-sung involved. And it's almost quite odd for me to watch this, Ian, because it's in such contrast to their normal formation. It's almost as if I'm watching a different pair.
Well, it's a different combination, that's for sure. But it's not really that that's caused the problems here. They've just made too many easy errors. They've kept their Indonesian opponents in the game, really. Missed a lot of easy chances around mid-court, forecourt, which you wouldn't expect. Same again. He was ready, he'd read it, missed it. Level again. Indians are really struggling to impose themselves on this game at the moment.
Guangxi, not impressed. Oh, it's landed on the line.
There's a real catalogue of errors in this first set, you have to say. It's a bad misjudgment on the baseline there. Should be clearly in.
So gain points to the number 2 seeds.